They're already breaking through. That's awesome. Good morning. We're done planting. Yay! I got some seed to move around this morning. I've got to get some stuff to a couple of people. So I'm going to work on that. We got to get the planter back to the shop here. Make sure Dad keeps moving. Whatever he needs to keep spraying. So it's a little chilly this morning. I don't know what it said, like 34, 35 or something like that. Not a frost danger, but tonight was the last cold night. It's supposed to warm up after today, so that is good too. Spraying beans. All right, well, got the tractor and the planter from the field. Brought that back to the farm here. I got some seed delivered this morning. I've got some more stuff that's gotta get delivered this afternoon. And I've got another person coming to pick up a couple of boxes this afternoon. So I'm gonna go sort that stuff out right now. Dad's, I don't know how much more he's got to do here, but he's getting ready. We loaded up a trailer, gonna take it down to Berkey with his chemicals and stuff so we can get all the crops down there sprayed. So our semi-truck may or may not be stuck in the driveway. Like on the stones in the driveway. Just dug herself a hole. Won't move. Crazy. Just need a little tug from the backhoe. Sorry, stuff is hard to film. Okay, I brought a couple of my empties from the farm back down here. I've got to get 2 boxes of those full boxes of beans out, and then that pallet of bagged beans, the full pallet on the bottom there. Somebody's coming to get those later, so I'm going to get them set out by the road, or by the door here. Okay, so there's those. I am waiting on a neighboring dealer to get a truckload of beans in this afternoon. A guy about 20 miles from here is supposed to be getting in a whole truckload of enlist beans, which is just a different herbicide trait. And so as soon as he gets that truck, I'm going to go and get 30 bags from him, take them to one of my customers up the road here. So until then, we're kind of back in cleaning up and putting stuff away mode here, wrapping up the day after planting kind of stuff. All right, well, I feel like I've got the first minute to stop and breathe I've had for a couple of weeks almost. Dad's spraying. He's got one more field he's working on up here. That's a cornfield. He's got all of the beans here sprayed, and then he's going to head to Berkey, spray all the beans and the corn down there and get that done. It's important that we get the beans sprayed as quickly as possible, because once they come out of the ground, we have to switch to a different herbicide that doesn't work quite as effectively as the pre-emerge herbicides do. So we always try and spray the beans as fast as possible as soon as they're planted, and then the corn, we like to get that done right away too, but it can be sprayed, the corn can be sprayed until it's, I don't know if it's 12 or 24 inches tall, but either way, we've got a wide window for that. So we will have all the beans sprayed by the end of today, and a good chunk of the corn. It's supposed to start raining tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to happen overnight tonight or later in the day tomorrow. I don't know, but we'll spray her up until it rains, and we're in really good shape. Like, it's a little scary to say that, but we are in really good shape right now. So I've got a little bit of errands to run. We're going to drive around, check a couple of fields. We're going to stop at that first field of soybeans that we planted way back when, see if they're poking through the ground yet, check a couple of cornfields, and let's do some assessments and see how good of a job we did and where we're at with everything. Okay, so this is that first field of beans that we planted. I think it was April 24th. I'd have to go back and look at the date. It was a Thursday night or a Friday night, one of the two. I don't see any poking through just yet, but let's do a little digging. You can see this row is cracking right down the top of the row. That's a good thing, because hopefully it means the beans can push through a little bit. The dirt is a little crusty, but not bad. They should not be crusted in where they won't be able to push through it. Oh, right there's one. We've got moisture. There's one. So they are right there. I'm not digging very far. to find these beans. Just moving the top a little bit away. I bet tomorrow we'll start seeing them breaking through. It's supposed to get warm. It's a nice day today. It's not real warm, but it's in the 60s, sun shining, so it warms the ground up. So that's awesome. I dug one up here so you could see the roots on it. Starting to put some lateral roots out, and you got that main tap root moving down. That's awesome. Looks really good. You may notice this little bit of purple on the neck here. That's the hypocotyl, they call that. That's not frost damage. Sometimes people would mistake that for something killing it. Basically what that is a genetic trait that tells you it's correlated with flower color. So when the beans start flowering on this particular variety, there'll be purple flowers on it, which I don't remember exactly what variety this is. 29s maybe, 2981s, I don't know. But if you see purple on the neck of that flower, as long as it's still healthy, firm tissue, which this is, that relates to flower color, not necessarily some kind of damage. So, good deal. I walked just a little farther from the yellow dirt up there down into this darker dirt in the low ground, and look, they're already breaking through. That's awesome. So this darker dirt absorbs the heat from the sun just a little bit better, makes them a little bit warmer, so they warm up a little bit faster and they grow faster. Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Okay, well, while running my errands, I got the phone call that my beans were in at that other dealer, and so we went and picked them up. We got 40 bags of beans in the back of the truck. I'm heading straight to the customer's place, and that's awesome because these beans weren't actually supposed to be delivered till like 4 o'clock today. So it's a little after noon now. They're going to get them 4 or 5 hours earlier than they would have otherwise. Hopefully they'll get planted today, and everybody's happy. Well, somebody's still working. Get her done, boys. Man, it's a nice day. All right, so I got somebody coming to pick up a couple boxes of beans and a pallet of bags there in a few minutes. I brought a couple more boxes down here. Basically, it's easier to bring them 2 at a time in the back of my truck when I'm coming down here than it is to hook up the trailer. Let's go check out my beans here, the early planted ones, just see if they're starting to grow again after that frost we had the other day. Also, Dad did get the field sprayed here today, so hopefully our weeds will die. That one's probably, I don't know if he's dead or not. He got hurt. That one's going to make it. That one's going to make it. There's definitely some that are not going to make it, but some that will as well. Look at this one. So the edges of the cotyledons got burnt, but I think the growing point is still alive. Those ones are going to make it. This one's just pushing through. So we're still getting a few more to come up. So they're definitely, it wasn't 100% perfect there. But the fact that I planted those March 17th and that many of them are going to make it is pretty impressive. We can push the boundaries on our beans a lot farther than you could imagine, because really there's no worst case scenario for those beans, or hard to imagine much of a worst case scenario than a 26 degrees on May 9th. I mean, that's really late for us to get that cold. So if those beans can survive that, what can't they survive? I mean, what is the limit, and what is the likelihood of us getting something that would actually kill those beans off, and that they wouldn't make it? I don't know, but that gives me a lot of things to think about, I guess. But if I ever get the opportunity to plant some beans in March, a few acres of them, I'll do it. So since I've got a few minutes here while I'm waiting for this guy to come pick up those beans, I decided to sort through some of these piles of signs that I've gotten in the last week. So look at that thing. That's awesome. That's a huge sign. It looks really nice, so I'll have to find somewhere to put it. Well, there he goes. Apparently them are heading over to Monroe County. I think now I'm going to take this tractor and disc. We'll go unhook the disc out where we parked the field cultivator and get the tractor put in the barn. I I'm sure we're done with tillage because everything we've got's got a crop growing in it. So we'll hook some of this stuff up after wheat harvest, but it'll be a little while. So let's get it unhooked so we can put the tractor back in the barn. This disc is actually back heavy. You'll see that the tongue is up on the top of the hammer strap there, clevis on the tractor, and so there's negative tongue weight when it's folded up, which means we got to put a jack down in the back to hold it in place rather than jack the tongue up. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, but we'll get it. Okay, there's that. We'll go put this tractor in the barn. I decided to fill her up with fuel before I put it away. Okay, so that can sit there. I do want to put the planter in over here, and I am done with that tank for sure, so I can unhook that. We can get that cleaned up here at some point. I'm gonna have to wait until a different day, but I'm not ready to clean up and put the planters away just yet because, well, there's still a chance we might have to replant something, and no better way to guarantee it than to have the planters all cleaned up and put away. So I'm gonna leave them hooked up, well, or at least out until we're sure that the crop is gonna make it. We don't need to replant anything, and then we'll get those cleaned up and put away. But like I said, we're done with that tank because even if I do have to replant, we're not gonna put more starter fertilizer on. So I can unhook that. That gives me enough room to be able to back the planter in the tractor in this shed here and get it inside so that it's out of the rain that's coming here the next couple of days too. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. The lawnmower's in the way, I need to move it. All right, well, there's the planter in the barn. Clean some of my trash out of the cab stuff. There's more to do, but that's done for now. I want to get the planting data off of the displays in the two planting tractors, so doing that, stick my jump drive in there and export the data to it, then we'll take it into the computer and get it uploaded to my John Deere account so that when I'm going and scouting fields and looking at stuff, I can know what varieties are planted where. Okay, well, I got those files off of both planting tractors and transferred them. They uploaded, but it'll take them a little while to process before that data is available, which is fine. I am going to walk down to my seed warehouse because our gator is still down there from when we planted plots a week ago. And I want to get it, bring it back to the farm. And we have some wheel spacers to make the wheels set out a little wider so that we can drive down 30-inch rows with it. So I want to get those put on. Some of the fields where we planted corn, there's some rocks, stuff that needs to get picked up. And I don't like running down corn rows, especially as the corn's emerging. So we're gonna put those spacers on, and hopefully we'll get a chance to use it, but depends on how much it rains today, or this week, I guess, tomorrow. Okay, so basically all we gotta do here is pop the tire off, put the spacer on there, bolt the tire to the spacer. There's the spacer on. Now we'll put the tire back. Something like that. Get it lined up. There. So that basically it moves the tire out 4 inches, the width of the spacer. And you can see, if you look from this one, how much farther out that one sets. Sticking way out past the fenders and stuff. So, but it allows us to straddle 2 corn rows because you basically got 8 inches more distance between the tires. So that's what we're looking for. All right, well, there. Now it'll throw mud, dirt, and dust everywhere, but it won't run over corn. One or maybe 2 more things that I want to get done tonight before I go home. Since Dad's not here, it's going to rain tomorrow, I'm going to plant some more sweet corn, and I'm going to do it my way. So I got some seed here. I'm going to get my little push planter. We're going to go out there and throw a few rows in. It's been, I don't know, a good 2 weeks since Dad planted that first stuff. So this will extend our sweet corn window, having a couple different planting dates. So Dad hand planted all of his rows of sweet corn with a hoe. I'm not doing that. I have got this little push planter. It doesn't do a very good job, but it's easy. So we just put the seed in there, and it's got a little plate and cup that's supposed to grab a kernel and drop it down, and yeah, it works, and it works okay. So that's just what we're going to use. I don't know, we'll do 10 rows or something like that. Easier to push with 2 hands. But the nice thing is the ground is still soft because we have not had any pounding rains since we worked this. See how much faster that is? I got 4 rows done already. Well, that took like 10 minutes. 12 more rows of sweet corn planted. Check. Okay, last thing I'm gonna do tonight is jump in that gator that I just put those spacers on, and let's go check a couple cornfields. I want to run and check those first 2 cornfields that we planted. I don't know when it was. 2.5 weeks ago, I think. Maybe 3.5 weeks ago. Whatever it was. I think it was a Friday. Maybe a Saturday. Oh, I'm gonna look at a calendar. Oh, I can probably check my John Deere now, and it'll tell me when I planted it. Anyway, we're gonna go look at those, see if that corn is coming up like the beans are, and then we'll go look at that field of corn, one of the fields of corn that we planted on Sunday, just a week and a half ago. I do remember that one. And see if that stuff is coming up or sprouted or what it looks like. It's been really cold since we planted it, so I don't expect it to be coming up. I don't really expect it to have done a whole lot. Sprouted probably, but still pretty small. So we'll go just take a look. It's supposed to start raining tomorrow, like I've said, so it'll probably be too muddy for a few days to get back in the fields and go look real good. So that's why I want to go do it tonight. A Sandhill Crane back here eating our seed. All right, let's see what we got. I can already tell you. Check it out. Where'd you go? Right there. See that one? See that one? He looks like he got nipped with the frost just a little bit. There's one that definitely got nipped by the frost. Corn, it's no big deal because the growing point is below ground until it's about V5 or 6, which is probably 8 to 10 inch tall corn. So yeah, excellent. Corn's starting to pop up. Should be a seed in here somewhere that I'm not finding one. But we got a plant right there and a plant right there, so I'm guessing there should be one in the middle. Oh, right there. Dig him up. And he looks like he got some cold damage. See how the root was going down. The shoot started up, turned around, and started pointing back down. So that one wasn't going to make it. It may have eventually made it to the surface, but it's going to be so far behind this one and this one, it never produced a viable ear. So we don't like to see that. Hopefully there's not a lot of it. We'll take some better stand counts after things dry out after this rain. Usually when the corn's popping, you can just kind of scrape some of the dirt off the surface and see where they're at. But anyway, it's good. There is corn coming. This field will change a lot in the next 2 days. You'll be able to row it, I bet. Check out that sweet jump. Just kidding. About 5 years ago, I managed to break 4 ribs doing stupid stuff like that. So keep it a little calmer these days. Okay, this is one of the first fields that we planted during this last stretch on that Sunday. It's been a week and a half. The ground is still really soft. Hasn't been rained on much. 2/10 is all. I may have hit the seed and broke it there. Right there. So we've got a root. I don't see much of a shoot yet. I'm not sure if that's because it hasn't come out or if I broke it. But yeah, good start. Again, this stuff will grow fast because it's going to be warm and it's going to have plenty of moisture now. So the biggest concern moving forward is that if we get a bunch of rain tomorrow and it comes hard and fast and it's a pounding rain, thunderstorm, our ground will get very hard on top, and then those corn plants and the beans have a hard time breaking up through the crust. So as long as the ground is moist on top, it doesn't get hard. Hopefully this stuff will grow fast enough it will start poking up before the ground dries out after the rain. April 24th, and it was a Friday, and it will be 3 weeks in 2 days when I planted that corn. I looked it up. So that's good. Spiking through, excellent, especially with the cold temperatures we've had. Nothing to complain about there. All right, so I'm going to head home here. Agenda for the next few days, weeks, stuff. Now that we're done planting, I just kind of wanted to let you know kind of what are we doing, what's got going on. So as you guys all know, I'm sure, farmers only work for 3 weeks a year. We do our 1 week at planting, and then we go on vacation all summer, and then we'll come back for 2 weeks in the fall. We'll harvest the crops and then take our winter vacations down south. So my wife and I will be leaving tomorrow, heading up to our cabin up north, and I'll see you guys in October. Yeah, not quite. So things do slow down drastically. The pace is a lot slower here, especially once Dad gets the spraying done. Basically, we've got a couple of weeks until the corn is up yay big, 3, 4, 5 inches tall, and we can start putting our nitrogen on. We need to side dress our corn with anhydrous, so we'll start doing that in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, we've got to get everything ready to go. Hopefully we don't have to replant anything. We can get the planters cleaned up, put away, spend a little bit more time going through them here now that we're done with them instead of having to worry about it next winter. I've got to clean up all these boxes. Got her. And get that stuff put back. I've got to go and talk to my seed customers, make sure they're all finished up and don't need anything. Collect boxes, empty pallets, all that kind of stuff from them and get it ready to return to Golden Harvest. I've got a little project to work on the 8R tractor that I need to do, so I need to get that in the shop here sometime in the next couple of weeks as well. And then we'll get the anhydrous bar hooked up and get a tank around so we can pressure test that and everything. So still plenty of stuff to do. I'm gonna be busy with everything, but things do slow down drastically here. So at least for a couple weeks until we're back at it. Oh, we'll also need to change the tires on the sprayer as soon as Dad's done spraying the corn here, which not going to happen today, but if the rain holds off, maybe he can finish it tomorrow. It just depends on when it rains again, or well, when it starts, I guess. But we got to put the skinny tires back on to spray the wheat. We got to put the second shot of nitrogen on, and we'll have to put some fungicides on here pretty soon as well. So that's got to get done. Yeah. Plenty to do, like I said. So anyway, have a good night, everybody. Leave me comments down below and hit the like and subscribe buttons for me if you would. We will see you guys tomorrow. Everybody say hi to Anna. All right, night.